Alright everybody, welcome to the video. Beautiful day to be out riding. 2021 or 2021 BMW R1250 GS Adventure, 6,500 miles of riding that I put in this beast in less than a year. Now granted, didn't get a lot of riding in the winter because, well, it's Colorado and guess what, it snows. So I have ridden in temperatures from say 29 degrees Fahrenheit to recently 104 degrees Fahrenheit. I've done a couple of trips. The most recent one I got back from was 2,500 miles up through Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, Montana, big loop back around. So put in some miles. That was an 8-day trip. The last big one was like 4 or 5 days. I can't remember. So put in some miles. Also, I've been riding for over 20 years. Got some experience and blah blah blah. So, anyways, you want to hear about the bike because you're in the market for one, or you want to see if my opinions mirror yours. So, first thing I like about the motorcycle, we're going to talk about some things I like, some things I dislike. And my opinions have changed in the time that I've owned this. Say the 500-mile review versus the 6,500-mile review on some things. But first thing I like, the motor. The motor is fantastic. Love the motor. It does everything that I asked of it with ease. What do I mean by that? So if I'm doing stuff like this, just tooling around, I'm just tooling around here today, chilling. Second and third gear, even some of the more aggressive riding that I've done, second through fourth gear with Eric, the motor handles it with ease. It's not screaming, right? It just really handles it well. Or some of these long grinding, 2-3 hours in the middle of nowhere, just doing 85, 90 miles an hour across Montana or wherever. It also handles that very well. It's not screaming, okay? Or if you are, say, doing 75 miles an hour out in the middle on some highway or somewhere and you need to pull off a pass of 4 or 5 vehicles at once, the power is there. The extreme opposite of that is at 75 miles an hour, if you were to whack open the throttle on a KLR 650, there is no power. There's nothing. Nothing happens. Or even, say, on some most Harley Davidsons, whatever. So the motor is amazing. Everything I've asked of it, it handles at low speed, high speed, whatever, extreme poise. So the other things I like about this, as far as the trip goes, I like the ride modes, being able to switch between enduro and dynamic pro and rain. We got rained on a little bit. We did some light dirt roads, so I was able to switch to enduro just to turn off the traction control to spin the rear wheel a little bit. I also like the cruise control. In the beginning, I did not like the cruise control, but again, when you are going through 2-3 hours of 90 miles an hour just boom, straight, you want some cruise control. So I was able to kind of figure it out and also use the button to bump and match speeds. So if I'm, say, we're at 86 miles an hour and my buddy's doing 87 and I want to match his speed so that we don't always kind of creep up on each other, the cruise control works out well. So ride mode's good, cruise control. The other thing is I like the Pro Shift, the let me get around this guy, the speed shifter, not using a clutch on some of those. Fantastic. Love that part of the bike. Love being able to use that. I think it's a great addition to the motorcycle. The seating position is great. The USB port up here that I run in to charge my GoPro batteries when I'm riding. So we usually stop about every hour and 15 minutes. This motherfucker right here, what are you doing, man? Just drifting. You got to be careful, guys that are drifting. Yeah, the USB port, being able to charge my GoPro batteries or sometimes even charge the phone, was fantastic. Now, a lot of motorcycles have those, but I think that's just a really cool addition. I run into my tank bag, handles it really well, no big deal. I'm trying to think what else. The seating position, like I said, is great. Everything is great about it. The 8-gallon tank, being able to last longer on fill-ups, also great. Now, the extreme opposite or downside are mated to some of the good sides. This is an extremely unwieldy motorcycle at low speeds. What is it, 600-pound bike, 8-gallon tank, giant boxer motor coming out of this thing. So I took a course recently called Ride Like a Cop, low speed maneuvers, cones, all that good stuff. It was tough. So fortunately, that's not a lot of the riding I do, but still at low speeds and even in parking lots, this thing is just a tank. But once you get it going like this, it's no big deal, right? No big deal. So it is a tank. The other component to that is a very tall. So I've never had a motorcycle that I couldn't put both feet flat on the ground almost at 5'11", and this one I pretty much tiptoe both sides of it just because it's a very tall and wide motorcycle. So there's that. The other part, the other kind of dislikes or meh about it, the Nav 6, paid $1,000 for that. Never really have used it even close to its potential other than like trying to scroll out to see where the next town is. We don't really need to route plan with it. And it's like, it's kind of like if you have it, it's great. If you don't, whatever. And this is like multi-day trip where we're making adjustments on the fly. It's not exactly a pre-planned, you know, we will do this, we'll do that, right? So nav 6, you can take it or leave it. The other thing, when it was super cold coming over Vale Pass, like I said, 29, 30 degrees, the heated grips are kind of like, okay. If it's a little chilly outside, they're nice. If it's cold outside, like cold, forget about it. It's just, it's not going to be good, especially with gloves like these. It's not going to save you or anything like that. So there's some of the ups and the downs. I am going in for my second service here probably this week. Fill you in more on that. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Oh, last thing about this bike that I disliked was the stock Michelin Anakis that came on it. Good for the street, trash for the dirt. So I switched to the Dunlop 5050s, Trail Max Missions. Love those. So, well, there you have it. The impressions, 6,500 miles. I probably left some things out, but I just was kind of going over my head what really stuck out to me on these trips. I can't recommend this motorcycle highly enough if you're looking to get into something like this. All the adventure you could want or need or desire in a beautiful rally color scheme. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.